As you're all well aware, last night Anton and Georgia H were chosen to go to the hideaway, and as she was preparing to go to the hideaway, Arabella uttered those words to Georgia Harrison that every man who thinks he's finally going to be alone with his woman and she might get sexy with him wants to hear.
Right, let's get those fluffy PJs out, baby girl!
Yes. Have you got those pyjamas? Those really sexy pyjamas? In fact, throughout this whole thing, it looked like Georgia Harrison was finding as many pyjamas as she could to wear to be completely and utterly covered. She might as well have been wearing a boiler suit by the end of it. It was quite clear that nothing at all sexy or a bit, you know, nod and wink was going to happen. In fact, she even mentioned at one point, oh, I thought Craig David was going to come in with us. What? So he could, what, protect you even more from Anton? I don't know what she was thinking there. The whole thing was quite bizarre. And when they were in the hideaway, they just sat down and chatted. Like, you know, a couple of mates. Even going to bed.
Do you think Craig's going to be in there or what?
It was so lifeless. It was like, oh, which side of the bed do you want? Oh, I'll sleep on that side of the bed. You know, and she was saying, yeah, well, I thought you'd sleep on the other side so you can protect me. I'm like, this is just strange, strange behaviour.
Are you happy with me on this side?
No, I'll switch.
I thought you liked to be near the door.
Yeah,
to protect me.
Now, while I think the hideaway revealed that Anton and Georgia Hate's relationship is probably not where Anton thinks it is, someone did mention on social media that we have to remember Georgia Harrison's past, that she's been through that horrendous court case with Stephen Bear about the leaked sex tape, and all the pressure that must have put on her and all the mental pressure it must have put on her. I know she won the case, but she did a documentary about it, and Stephen Bear's just got out of prison, so all that kind of stuff. We have to remember that, and yes, maybe she is very, very cautious now about getting involved with any man at all. Having said that, I do feel like if that is the case, why doesn't she just say it? It'd make for great television, and I'm sure would make other victims feel assured that they're not the only people who go through these kind of things. She could say to Anton, look, I'm going to cover myself up. I don't feel comfortable around men, even though you're nice, because of what I went through with Stephen Bear, because of all the nonsense I had to go through with him. I hope you understand. And I'm sure he would. And again, I think that would make for a really interesting thing to talk about rather than what we got. And there's nothing wrong with her discussing it, as long as she wants to discuss it. But I don't see why she wouldn't want to discuss it, because goodness me, all the information's out there anyway. But there we go. So it's a pretty lifeless hideaway. But I don't want to make too much of a joke about it, even though it was really quite bizarre. But then, of course, we had the ending where we're going to choose tonight, well, not we, they are going to choose a boy and a girl to leave the island.
Islanders, as a group, you must now choose one boy and one girl from the 4 couples stood right next to me to be dumped from the island immediately.
In yesterday's video, I predicted that Chris and Joanna would be dumped. Well, I couldn't have been wronger. I mean, I was kind of semi-wrong. They could be dumped. They might be dumped. They probably won't be, I think. Because, looking at this array of faces who could be dumped tonight, I don't see why the villa would choose those who've been in there for ages and who they've established good, strong friendships with. Surely it's a no-brainer just to kick out the ones who came recently, like Joe or like Jess. You know, I don't really think it's going to be particularly, you know, interesting tonight. I don't think they're suddenly going to say, well, let's get rid of Callum.
Islanders, you decided Joanna and Chris, Eve and Casey, Jess and Callum, and Arabella and Joe were the least compatible couples.
And just before I leave you, TYRIQUE. Remember TYRIQUE? How could you forget TYRIQUE? He has put his 2 cents worth in to the whole debate about KAZ and about the lack of diversity on Love Island All-Stars, and made this point, which you can see on your screens as I'm talking. I'm not going to go on and on about this because I've done it now in a couple of videos and you're probably getting bored of it. But hey, it's just nice to know that they're paying attention, you know, and I think it's really important that we shine a light on this while we can. And no doubt there'll be more to come. And who knows, maybe the producers will eventually address it. But here we go. We're nearing the end. I'm presuming we're going to have no Meet the Family Day. It doesn't seem much of a point. I'm not quite sure where we're going to go now because we need to really start streamlining the show down to the last few contestants if we're going to near this finale. But let's see what happens, eh guys? So let me know who you think is going to be voted off. Let me know who you think is not going to be voted off. Let me know who you think. I'll just leave that there. Thanks for watching and goodbye.